to use Mega Pyroar and Annihilate. So we'll see how this team is. We have a lot of modes. We got the Annihilate mode, we got the Pyroar mode, we got Hard Trick Room with Torkoal. We'll see how it goes. Today we want to get to Ultra Ball. I think that would be a good goal. So this is kind of similar to a different team that I used before. I think what I want to do is go into Hard Trick Room here because Torkoal is really hard for them to stop. They have 2 resistances, but even those 2 resistances are going to be taking a lot of damage. They do have screens to stall us out, so we have to find a way to be able to, you know, either get at that second Trick Room or something like that, right? I was thinking, what if we go with like Torkoal Pyroar lead, save Torkoal for the end and try to like get up a Trick Room, but like that is like pretty bad against a Garchomp lead, right? Like Garchomp's the Raptor. So I'd say let's just stick to our original plan and send for Giraffe Pyroar like this. We'll just see what happens. This is definitely going to be a pretty tough matchup. Raptor Anti-Flosion. So we do get the Intimidate off. They don't have any Sun to play with right now. And they don't have screens, which is I think the most important thing. So I don't think that close combat plus Eruption is gonna KO here. Especially if this is Scarf Typhlosion and they get their Eruption off first, and if we get that Citrus Berry activated, then we won't have to worry about getting KO'd by close combat because they're at -1 right now. I'm trying to think that they might not be active right now. Here we have a pretty obvious Trick Room. What would be bad is like a switch into Goldengo, but even if they do that, then they'll go down to, or they'll take a lot of damage from Flare Blitz, right? If they switch Typhlosion into Goldengo. And if there's anything else, we should be able to get in pretty good position. I don't really see a problem with parting Tron Trick Room here. The Raptor is going to protect, which is really good for us. I'm starting to think that they might not be active right now. Here comes the Eruption. Took that pretty well. Oh, and we don't have Citrus Berry on the for Giraffe. I used to have it on a previous version, but now I have the Twisted Spoon, so we can do more damage. Either way, we have our Trick Room set up, so Eruption and Psychic into Typhlosion is a pretty safe move. Yeah, I'm starting to suspect that he's really not here yet. Alright, well, definitely wanted to start off our first match of the ranked season. Takes us straight to Pokeball Tier 3. So this is one of the more standard compositions. This team is especially scary because they do have Venusaur, who threatens Sleep Powder. We don't really have a good way to get it off the field quickly as well. But one thing I will say is Pyroar looks super good here, being able to resist a lot of the stronger attacks. Like Pyroar plus Incineroar, or Whimsicott and Pyroar in the lead. So so that we can get up our speed control. And then into in the back for sure. And then we have a couple options. We can go with something like Annihilate, but we take a lot of damage. Annihilate's really only good into, especially if we can't get our beat up off, which I don't think we will be able to. Because we're leading with what's it called? I think we might just want to lead, either Pyroar or Torkoal. You know what? We'll go with Pyroar. Yeah, I'm not sure if Pyroar was correct. At least we'll be able to threaten with Thunderbolt, or set up another Trick Room against it if they try to like get back speed control that way. Aerodactyl and Pyroar, not a bad lead for us. Pyroar. Let's go for a Sunny Day and the Mega Evolve Heat Wave. I think we will be able to KO the Pyroar if we just go for like a Sunny Day Overheat. We will take a lot of damage from Rock Slide though. I just want to be able to get the Sunny Day up first. And we'll see. I think they're gonna try to play into Trick Room here because we have what's it called? In the front. Here's a Sunny Day. Let's see if this is a Rock Slide or Dual Wing Beat. Aerodactyl uses Sunny Day, so that's kind of funny. Here comes our Heat Wave. It's gonna connect on both. Oh, great damage. That's incredible. And here comes a Nasty Paw, but it's a little bit too late for that. Here we can go for Tailwind and Heat Wave again. Even if it's a roll to KO on the Aerodactyl, I don't think their Aerodactyl is strong enough to pick up the KO against Pyroar. What could go wrong is missing a Heat Wave, but we don't. We connect and we kill both. Insane. Mega Pyroar is so strong. And the thing is that we've used up 2 turns of Sun, so if it's something like Mega Charizard in the back, first off, it's Typhlosion. So Typhlosion gets access to Flash Fire. It's gonna make it really strong inside of the Sun. So what we're gonna do is just, let's just try to get some chip damage off against this. We do have the speed advantage here. We can double down and KO this Venusaur here. Basically the idea is that we don't want to activate Flash Fire. This is pretty rough though because we really don't have a good way to hit Flash Fire Typhlosion because do we connect on Overheat? We do. Because our Incineroar is Flare Blitz only, so we forego the Dark type attack just to be able to have Taunt to help into other Trick Room strategies. Here comes the Scorching Sands. It's gonna do enough, not quite the 2-hit KO. And now our goal is to just start chipping away at this. Typhlosion, and be sure to stall out the Sun because I think that Pyroar can beat it if we can get enough parting shots and chip damage on it. Oh, that's good damage as well. 24% off of a not very effective move. Come to Eruption, we should take this pretty well. Snore. And yeah, because of our Focus Sash, we survive. We can get off another Moonblast plus a Fake Out. Most likely gonna see the Protect here. Actually, they might not Protect because they don't know that we don't have Encore, right? So that's another thing. We don't have Encore on this Oh, so much damage with a crit. We don't have Encore on this Whimsicott, and so we can run both Sunny Day and Beat Up. So those are both moves that people are not going to expect to see on something like this. And we do Solid the Sun, so we're going to be taking a lot less damage from the fire type attacks. But we still can't Flare Blitz into Typhlosion because of their Flash Fire. So let's go for another Moonblast and Parting Shot. Almost gets the KO. And they do forfeit. So we get our second win with Mega Pyroar. Oh, all the way up to Pokeball Tier 1. Yeah, Mega Pyroar being able to do the KO Aerodactyl with the Sun Up. This is an interesting team. I'm not sure if I've seen anything like it. Straight off the bat, I noticed that Pyroar is most likely the fastest thing here. Baby form Palafin can't threaten it that much under the sun, so that's one thing. How fast is Espeon? I believe that's base 130, which would mean that it outspeeds my specific. No, it's base 110. I do believe that if they are timid, they'll outspeed Pyroar. I'm not sure if it'll matter too much based on how much damage they can do. We'll lead Incineroar just in case, and then Torkoal and Fergarap. And the idea is, if we want to, we can switch in Torkoal. Actually, let's do this the other way around. So, I want to conserve Torkoal so that I can use it under Trick Room. So turn 1, I'll most likely just set up the Sun and then switch Torkoal out immediately into our boy Incineroar. Palafin and Espeon. So these are the two Pokemon that are best into Pyroar, right? Here's our Drought. So we're just gonna go ahead and switch into the Incineroar. Get the Intimidate off into Palafin just to make sure I can't take any surprise KOs. And we are going to Heat Wave. So I don't think this will. I'm pretty sure the Espeon is Focus Sash, so it probably won't KO. And Baby Form Palafin should be able to survive this attack as well, but we'll at least get a lot of damage off. Here's the Heat Wave. No protects. Yeah, lots of damage. Great damage. And we are faster than the Espeon, which is something to know. They are gonna get off their pivot into Pattern. Let's see if this is Trick Room here. This is Trick Room, so Espeon could be faster than us, which is actually good for us. Leftovers. No protects again on this fake out. Another critical hit Incineroar. 2 for 2 on crit fake outs. What the heck it was. Honestly, not bad damage. Heat Wave is going to miss the pattern. Here comes the Palafin, which I believe is going to be a pretty bulky variant. Torkoal should outspeed outspeed the Hatterene here, so we can try to get rid of the power flame. Dazzling Gleam. Great chip for them. So even if power goes down here, here's the Drain Punch. We are going to go down. We have an Eruption at our disposal. So, is that the right play? I'm trying to not be so confident that maybe I should just protect it to stall it out, but you know, when it comes to Torkoal, we can Thunderbolt and Eruption. I don't think that Hatterene can live this. If it does, it'll be problematic though. Tries to Jet Punch, but we have Armatel active. Here's the Eruption. It does KO the Hatterene, so we're not in danger of taking a Psychic or something. A Dazzling Gleam. Here comes the Thunderbolt, gonna KO the Palafin. Let's see what their last is. And they forfeit. Very nice. I think this is the fastest I've ever ranked up. Straight to Great Ball 3. So they're also using a Sun team, but they've got double dragons. We might use it to get rid of the Charizard, but we also want to be able to have our other Pokemon in the back. Under Tailwind, it should be able to get rid of pretty much everything on this team, except for maybe Torkoal. I guess we'll try to use Whimsicott to set up the Sun, and then we can use Vigoroth for that Thunderbolt pressure. And Psychic should be doing good damage into everything here. Dragonite and Hippowdon. So it does look like we can go straight for a Rage Fist here. So we'll go for the Beat Up and the Rage Fist. Helping Hand. Here's Rage Fist into Dragonite. Is it gonna KO? They are multi-skill, that's why we didn't get the KO. Ice Fang. So Ice Fang is gonna mean that we go down on the Whimsicott here because of the sand. However, I think that's fine. I don't see a reason to bring Pyroar out yet. Let's just go for the Psychic here. Should always be a KO, and then we can Rage Fist the Hippowdon. I'm not sure if the Rage Fist will actually KO here, but it should do. Maybe I should have gone for a Helping Hand. We'll see how much damage it does. Okay, not quite the KO, but definitely a lot of damage. And we are flashing the Hippowdon as well. Helping Hand Earthquake. How much is it gonna do? It should be a lot of damage. Okay, not horrible. But if we are slower, we're gonna take a lot of damage here. If it's something like the Charizard, could be pretty scary. Yeah, so this is Mega Charizard Y. That is kind of concerning. We'll go for the Psychic here, and maybe we'll just, I don't know, We'll rage first. We'll see what happens. Here's the raw heat wave. Not gonna pick up any KO, so that is really, really good for us. But I do believe that this is the end of Annihilate because of the sand. Unless Leftovers goes first. I'm not sure. I don't think it does. Yeah. Survival. Interesting. So first draft is gonna go down here. I think the best thing to do is just go for a helping hand and heat wave. This is Phantom Force, it could be pretty bad. Let's see how much damage this does. Helping hand heat wave. Oh my god, so much damage. It would have gone down to an overheat there. So yeah, going for this heat wave here should be pretty safe. Unless we go down to a Draco Meteor. This Pyroar is a fair bit bulky, yeah. So we do survive. But they are White Herb, that's really cool. Heat wave is going to connect. Pyroar takes its... I don't know how many KOs it's taken this match. That one was a bit close. I guess maybe we should have focused down the hit Powdon a bit more. Even if, especially if I knew it wasn't going to go down to a Rage Fist, right? So, but yeah. Okay, so for win streak, we are going to get up to halfway through Great Ball 2, which is great progress for just a couple of matches. Looks like we're up against another Staraptor team. This seems to also be like a Surreal setup team with the bulk up Bitter Blade stuff. So Whimsicott Annihilate actually looks really good here. Being able to pretty much take so little damage from everything after bulk ups and then just dish out huge damage. Only thing we have to worry about here really is going to be the Brave Bird on Staraptor. So maybe if we do something like this, we don't get to get that beat up off immediately, but we should be able to get a bulk up and then, pivot around and then be able to get our Whimsicott into position. So I think that's going to be the goal here. I guess last should just be for Giraffe because I don't really see a reason for anything else to come. Pyroar. I guess maybe Pyroar's spread damage could be good into like Sinistcha and Mawile in the end game. Cause Fake Out. Yeah, I don't think we have. I think we have enough defense to not be too worried about Fake Out. So. Sinistcha and Grimmsnarl. I think it's just gonna be Trick Room here. We can go for a bulk up and a taunt here. So Taunt Incineroar is not super common right now. Here's the Reflect. Is this gonna be trickling here? That's the question. If this is Magic Logic and we get burned, that could be pretty brutal. However, we will have one stack of Rage Fist. Strength Sap. Interesting. Okay. So I do like Rage Fist and just pivot here. Not gonna do that much damage. Maybe we should have gone for another bulk up. Parting shot should have also been the Sinistcha. It's alright though. Here's the Machigacha. We're gonna get our Sash broken. Whimsicott gets burned. So luckily no burn on the Annihilate. Okay, got our leftovers. And this is also luck. So beat up Rage Fist should be getting the KO on anything that switches in. Except for Staraptor. But if he switches in Staraptor here, we'll get the Defiant boost. So I don't really see a reason for him to do this. So now we can take our time to set up like Tailwind, Sunny Day, as well, because he's just not pressuring that much damage. So that's the problem with leading something with Grimmsnarl and Sinistcha. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that much. Ooh, and he is gonna give us the boost here. So I'm not gonna be able to, you know, maybe do a lot of immediate damage to your team. However, I have the ability to set up, right? And if you're caught out of position, then that could be pretty scary. Here's the Sneasler. Right, Fish should take the KO here. Incredible. Here's the Staraptor. So right now it has its Ghost typing, which means that it is going to be good into Rage Fist. We can't do anything with it. But what we can do is try to set up our Tailwind here. What could be bad here is like Fake Out and Brave Bird and Staraptor. Or into Whimsicott. Okay, so they do get rid of their Ghost typing now. Or their normal typing, so they can get hit by Rage Fist. Let's see if this is okay. It is Fake Out here. As long as Whimsicott makes it through this turn, Braver with the Protect. So Whimsicott is gonna make it through this turn. That means that we can get our Tailwind off. We shouldn't really, I don't think, be getting KO'd by Brave Bird at +1 defense from this range anyway. Either way, I think Rage Fist should be able to get the KO on Staraptor before he can even move, so yeah, honestly, this is great for us. And there we go. With the Dire Claw going to KO the Sneasler, but it is too little too late because he does not have a good way of getting through this Annihilate, a +1. So this Sneasler could be Unburden, which is why I don't want to go into Pyro or into Incineroar. Instead, we'll go into Pyroar. Yeah, so this could be Fake Out Grimmsnarl plus Close Combat, which would be pretty bad. Which would KO the Pyroar most likely. So doing this, basically Rage Fist. If either they're most likely to be either Focus Sash or White Herb. So if they're Focus Sash, that means that Unburden will activate, but I can switch in next turn and go for my Intimidate. But they're not Sash. But if they were Sash, we could have done that. Looks like they were White Herb, so we get the KO anyway. And Life Spirit is going to wear off, and battle ends to a 4-4. So, yeah, honestly, great showcase by Annihilate. I think it was a bit of a matchup check for them. They weren't sure how Annihilate works with Defiant and all the Rage Fist boosts. Yeah, almost gonna make it up into Ultra Ball tier, so let's keep going. So this is a new team popularized, I think, by Lorcy. The thing is that we can't easily KO Delphox with something like Beat Up plus Rage Fist because they have Matcha Gotcha, or they have Rage Powder to be able to redirect the attack. So if we're not in position, we could be taking a lot of damage from like something like Psyshock before we're able to get off our combo. So this is actually a really good lead for us. The main problem here is that they can Fake Out and attack into Whimsicott. I think, personally, it should be fine though. This is Drain Punch the Annihilate. Here's a Fake Out. Sucker Punch. So that is actually going to give us a Rage Fist boost. And actually, Drain Punch is going to be actually worth the damage, right? So... and because of this, we can really go for a Tailwind. Tailwind plus Rage Fist. Because we got the 1-stack boost. I'm pretty sure it'll KO. Even if it doesn't KO, I don't think they should be able to KO us even with the double up. Here it comes, Rage Fist. It is going to get the KO onto the Mega Delphox, which is going to be a great position for us. Should be Caesar going for a Dire Claw here, or a Poison Jab into Whimsicott. Gonna get the KO, but Whimsicott has honestly done its job. It's just the Tailwind and threaten the beat up, so... wait for us. Looks like they Rage Quit. I wonder if I'll still get points for this. Something went wrong causing the battle to not be completed correctly. Yeah, but that is going to give us the victory, taking us into Ultra Ball 4, which is great. Let's keep going. Super cool team here. It's going to be a more Trick Room oriented strategy with Politoed. Politoed makes it a bit difficult because we can't easily just say, okay, we'll just use Torkoal under Trick Room. They can set up and just switch in the Politoed. So we'll try to use Whimsicott plus Pyroar in the early game to try to get up as much damage as possible on their Trick Room setters, etc. And then I want to conserve Whimsicott for the end so that when Torkoal is under Trick Room, we can go for a Sunny Day, Prankster Sunny Day. So even if the Torkoal switches in, it'll be taking a lot of damage here. And then I think we'll just go for Fergaraf here, being able to spread psychic damage or electric type moves into the Politoed as well. So yeah, this looks good to me. So Sunny Day plus Heat Wave, or if they lead Politoed here, Sunny Day plus Solar Beam should be pretty consistent attack here. We're looking so much stress. So that is going to mean I might just go for a Sunny Day, and are they going to protect here? That's the main question, right? I think Sunny Day plus Heat Wave is the best way to do this, because even if they try to switch in Politoed to make sure they don't go down to, yeah, so not gonna be a switch in here, but unfortunately it might be the end of Pyro on turn 1 if we don't pick up the KO on this Golurk. Sinister protects. Got to use a Sunny Day. So now let's see how much the Sunny Day boosted, Fire Main boosted Heat Wave is going to do into a Golurk. Are we doing around 80? 70? Okay, and we go down to the Headlong Rush here. We do go down, which is a bit unfortunate. So if we went for something like Sunny Day plus Overheat here, what I think is the correct, not necessarily the correct play, but yeah. So they're scared about Encore, I think. So they don't want to be Encore to protect. Let's just Moonblast here and Psychic here. Okay, so that's how they wanted to get around Encore, basically. Great damage. What's a gotcha? No Trick Room. So yeah, they don't want to be Encored or Imprisoned Trick Room. So we kind of want them to set up Trick Room here. That is something that they're not doing. We'll go for another Moonblast. Psychic here. Psychic did more than half. Just incredible damage. There's another Moonblast. 3-hit KO into the Fergaraf. That's great. Well, not unless they have this Citrus Berry. So here's the Trick Room. It's a bit scary here because I can't really switch in Torkoal for free because I don't really have Protect, right? At the same time, Whimsicott might go down here. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of damage on the Dazzling Gleam because of the crit. There's a Psychic. We are slower. And KO the Sinistra. It's honestly great news. So I think there's going to be Dazzling plus Headlong Rush into the Fergaraf here. I don't know if Fergaraf is going to underspeed Golurk. I'm pretty sure it won't. But we're okay sacrificing Golurk, or Fergaraf here. There should never be a ground type attack into this, I think, Drain Punch. Okay, so we are going to take a bit more damage than I wanted to. But honestly, that is fine. So typically this would be pretty bad. The sunlight's going to end. Right? But because we have Sunny Day on the Whimsicott, we can now go for Eruption and Sunny Day. And this should, unless there's a priority move like Shadow Sneak, it should be doing a lot of damage. Shadow Sneak into Whimsicott would actually be pretty bad here. But there is none. So here comes the Eruption. Almost full power, gonna pick up both KOs. And I'm guessing the last is gonna be Politoed here. Honestly, not too worried about that. Here comes our second Sunny Day. How many turns of Trick Room are there? Last turn of Trick Room, so they don't know. They still don't know we don't have Encore, but they might like predict it by now. So we'll see if Torkoal can win this 1v1 on his own. There's no protect on this Politoed. We do a decent amount of damage. If this is leftovers, it could be a pretty long fight. Here's the Weather Ball. Not that much damage on their end either. And at this point, I think Weather Ball on our end should be stronger. We are also going to have Moon Blast. I think we'll go for something like this. And if they don't KO the Whimsicott this turn, so they're trying to stall out the sun here, which is honestly a great way to play this. We don't have any recovery left. We also don't have Encore, so they know this now. That's why they were able to go for the protect like that. However, I think we've already seen the Citrus Berry. We know it's not. Here's the Weather Ball into this. And Torkoal is going to finish off the job with the last sun boosted, charcoal boosted Weather Ball into the Politoed. And yeah, that should take us hopefully into Masterball 3. And a 7-win streak, which is super cool. And yeah, let's hopefully we can get into Ultra 1 by the end of this video. We are back, Ultra Ball Tier 3. Let's see what else we have here. So it is the Pyroar Mirror, which is super interesting. The best tool we have here is Incineroar. Incineroar and our own Torkoal. I don't want to have to play into this speed ties. We have Taunt. Taunt on our Incineroar is really good here to stop Trick Room. So I kind of want to not bring our own Trick Room. I think I want to go like Annihilate. And then for sure Pyroar, and then honestly, like we don't have any sleep powder immunities, right? Except for Taunt. So I kind of do, but we can go for like Protect and Taunt into, or like Protect and Flare Blitz into We're not sure if that's really a problem. I think we'll just bring Whimsicott. I'm honestly not sure what to do for the fourth here. So we can just go for a fake out and bulk out. But we might take a lot of damage from... Maybe we can... Okay, so if I want to go for something like fake out... Okay, actually they're going to switch Torkoal out this turn. So we'll just go for a Flare Blitz here and switch in Whimsicott, I think. Because I'm basically predicting Torkoal switch into Giraffe and then Sleep Powder. No, not even a Sleep Powder. Okay, very interesting. Life Orb, okay. So we probably are going to lose Instant and most of Whimsicott, but ooh, now they can freely get their Trigger Mother if they want to, so that's what we gotta focus on preventing here. Scrapped. So we would have had a big advantage here if we switched into switched into... Yeah, honestly, I'll just go for the Heat Wave. I don't mind taking like a close combat or something here, even though it might hurt. And we'll just see what we can do. Hopefully, Annihilate can clutch up from the back here. Hopefully this is a fake out into the Whimsicott. That's what we want to see. So we are going to get the Defiant boost. Is it enough? This is good. We should get some big damage on both opponents here. Let's see how we do. Yeah, 100% I'll take that. Eruption shouldn't really put us in range of anything. And they forfeit here, yeah. So not having Giraffe means that they can't get their speed control, which is why we were just threatening so much damage and so much speed that they couldn't really keep up with it. This is usually where I start to get a little bit stuck in this Ultra Ball 2, Ultra Ball 1 range, but we'll see what we can do. Here we go, our next match in Ultra Ball 2. It's going to be against a very standard team here with the King Gambit. So King Gambit is pretty scary for us. So is Garchomp and Bascu Legion. If I had to guess, it might be like... Yeah, I don't think it's ever Floette here for them. It might be Charizard. Certainly, it'll be King Gambit, because I feel like Instant plus Ferrig is just such a good lead for us. But if we lead like anything else, it could be... So how can we like punish instant or like a King Gambit lead. I think if we go for like Pyroar and Farigiraf, and then like instant and Torkoal, so triple fire plus Frig in the back, and then the idea is like hopefully we get Trick Room up, right? Pyro will be able to threaten King Gambit. But Garchomp threatens the Pyroar. However, we're always guaranteed to outspeed the Pyroar. Or the Garchomp. So if it's like Garchomp Gambit here, wins Gambit. Okay, so we have a super free Heat Wave, right? Heat Wave, and then I think we'll just go for Thunderbolt in case this is... Which one's gonna be Sash? This is probably gonna be Chokehold. This also might be a switch into something that can take it better. So I want a Psychic here, I think. That would be pretty bad into a Protect. But this should mean that we get Trick Room up a lot easier. We'll see what happens. I think we should be able to survive Moonblast. No switch out. Heat Wave is going to miss the King Gambit, which is really bad for us. Let's see if we are able to survive here. This could be really good for us. Kowtow. Farigiraf goes down, so maybe we should change our EVs to be able to live. Like a Black Glasses boosted attack. They also have Sucker Punch now, which is really bad. We have a lot of pressure as well, but like my question is it going to be enough? So what we can do is honestly just Heat Wave and Eruption is... We should live a Sucker Punch surely, right? So Heat Wave and Eruption. And this will like punish any defensive plays as well. And hopefully, let's see. We hit the Heat Wave, connects on both, and gets the KOs. So we are up in Pokemon here. However, they should have Garchomp and Basculegion in the back, which are both two super duper scary Pokemon for us to deal with. So let's see if this is really no Mega or not. They have Tailwind as well, so it's not like we can just say, oh well, we can outspeed Garchomp. So our goal should be... Oh, it's Floette. Okay, this is fine. We'll go for... Protect and switch. This should get the Intimidate off. Yeah, the Floette is kind of scary, but into like two Pokemon that resist it. We'll use a Protect, which is really nice for us here. Power Protect, and this is going to be a Wave Crash. Wave Crash into this slide, which is not great. Man, we take so much damage even under... Even the sun. I think that's fine though. So... We can... Oh, do we live... a Wave Crash on Pyroar? I'm actually not sure. But I do kind of want to see if we do. Okay, so we didn't really need to see if we did or not. We could have just gone for a Heat Wave. It's fine though, still good damage. We reveal Solar Beam. Unfortunately, yeah. I guess we should have called it Protect there, but honestly, pretty no big deal. We'll go for this, and I think Flare Blitz. We'll hopefully do some good damage here. Right. Here's the Moon Blast. Into instant. Does that knock out? Man, this Pokemon is strong, I forget. Here's the Wave Crash. Should be taking a lot of recoil. Let's see. It is a 2-hit KO. Okay, no more Tailwind, but they are just going to try to stall out the Sun here. The best move for us is to just go for a Helping Hand, Heat Wave. Let's see, did you see a Protect? It's going to be Aqua Jet. So Pyroar might connect on both. Incredible. Awesome. Awesome by Pyroar. Getting a Floette is super bulky on the special side and almost at full health. It was like an 85% health. And we took the KO on that. Same with Basket Legion. It resists and it was at like 70-ish health. 70% health. And it still took the KO with a spread move, right? So that just kind of shows like this Pokemon is really strong, and that should take us not quite to Ultra Ball 1, but we're almost getting there. This is going to be incredibly close. We'll see what happens. I really have the momentum here, and I don't want to lose that. Okay, Toxapex. So Toxapex is a really difficult matchup for us, just because we don't have that many things that can break through it super quickly. Except for Giraffe and an Annihilate if we can get it boosted. They have a lot of ways to deal with the Annihilate as well. But Annihilate is just in general just really good here. So we're gonna go ahead and lead it. I do kind of like the late game Trick Room angle, or just being able to click Weather Balls without having to worry about getting the speed control. So I think I will go for the Torkoal here, but that means that we're kind of banking on Annihilate to do a lot of the damage, and we don't have a good way of reducing damage from something like Blaziken or Annihilate or Aerodactyl. So I kind of do want to bring the Incineroar here. Yeah, I guess it has to be Instant and Frigg, and the idea is like maybe at least with Frigg we can set up a late game Trick Room against like the stronger threats. Hingambit isn't really a great bring for them, especially since I have like my strong Pokemon here in the lead. Let's see, Blaziken and Gambit. So this might be coaching stuff. The best move for me here is just going to be beat up and bulk up, most likely on the. If they protect both, that would be really good for us, right? But are they going to? Can we even risk that? Not to mention it can be Mega Blaziken, right? No, we'll go for the bulk up. We'll call the double protect. I think even if it is just 2 attacks, if we can get this, can give it use a Sucker Punch. Okay, so this is fine for us. It's gonna be what? Coaching. Flare Blitz. So as long as this doesn't then we can get the speed control here as well. No burn, and we gotta bulk up off. So now they need to protect for a turn to be able to outspeed us under Tailwind. But do they know this? We shouldn't be taking that much damage from Sucker Punch either. No protect as well, so we might just knock out this Blaziken right here. There we go. Here's the kowtow. Should not be doing that much at all. Oh man, was that a crit? No crit. That is a strong attack. Aerodactyl. So they're gonna go and try to match Tailwinds here. Let's just try to get our Drain Punch off into King Gambit. If they protect, it could be pretty brutal though. Gonna Sucker Punch, but our Armor Tail is gonna block that, and here's gonna be some big damage. Even if it's something like the Choberberry. Let's see, we might get the KO at +1, right? Just barely not, but it's honestly fine. Should be the Tailwind here. Dual Wind Beat. Oh, that's big crit. But we are still faster. I really want to get that health back, so we should be able to KO King Gambit here with Thunderbolt, and we can heal back up with Drain Punch. I don't know how much it'll be doing at +1. No protect still. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage though. We might have put them back. No crit. And we should survive here. Incredible. So what we can do now, there's gonna be Toxapex here. What we can do now is we can pin them with our 1 HP Whimsicott. Basically we're saying either you're gonna take this Rage Punch or a Rage Fist and get KO'd here, or you're gonna protect, and then I'm gonna pin you with Encore next turn, right? Recto is gonna go for the protect, so unless this is an attack into Whimsicott, which it might be. So they are going to do that, which is pretty bad for us at first glance. But this is almost like a multi-dimensional pin, because the next thing we have to help us is going to be this Incineroar. So Incineroar will not only decrease the Aerodactyl's attack, and they forfeit. So another incredible showcase of why Annihilate can just take over games just like that. One of the previous times, we got hit by the parting shot and they kind of let that spiral out of control, but we didn't even need to do that. And we hit a 10 win streak, which is just super incredible. I don't think I've ever done this before. And here we are almost at Master Ball rank, which is exactly what I wanted. So I'll catch you guys in a minute. Here we are at Ultra Ball rank 1. We are going to get the Marco Silva team here. This is another one of those games where it's like Torkoal under Trick Room is really good, but how are we going to get up Trick Room, right? So I think the one that we played previously had like Basculegion and Fluent. This one has a super strong lead of just like Garchomp plus Charizard, right? And that just resists all of our fire type attacks and threatens big damage. But the problem is that they also have something like the King Gambit and Garchomp as the lead. So my idea is that if they don't lead King Gambit, I'm gonna try to just KO them with the raw power of Incineroar in the sun. If they don't, then I can easily set up Trick Room and hopefully get in my position from there. Kingambit and Aerodactyl. So they can go for Tailwind and Kowtow Cleave. And honestly, we don't really have a great way to punish that. It's not even going to be. It's actually good for us here, unless this is something like Protect. No Protect. Can we get the KO here? Or is this Sash? It is going to be Sash. But we do a lot of damage in the process. Kowtow. Going to be a 2-hit KO here. Here we can go for I think the Kingambit is gonna switch out. Let's see if we can get in the Pyroar here to start doing damage like that. I really don't think they're going to be trying to dish out some damage here. But they are staying in. There's a parting shot. Low kick. It's going to do a lot of damage. Thunderbolt. We take that fine. So now we have an easy Trick Room here, plus a Heat Wave. So even if it's something like the Aerodactyl switching in, they are going to take a lot of damage. And usually these Focus Sash means you're not running Protect. A Sucker. Interesting. Wave comes out. Gonna pick up 2 KOs and we're gonna get the Trick Room here. Ooh, with a critical hit. That definitely mattered, right? I think there's the Garchomp here. It is Garchomp. A bit scary for us. Let's go for Psychic and switch in the Insane here. It's gonna be Mega Aerodactyl here. Super cool choice. Incredible damage, more than 50%. Earthquake plus Rock Slide might be the end of both here. Oh, that's fine. First berry. That means we might live an attack here. No, it is going to KO both. I don't think the crit mattered there. But yeah, they don't have any priority. They don't have that many great ways of throwing out Trick Room, even with a Protect. So I think it is time. Weather Ball should probably KO. Here. Ooh, they only have one turn of Sunlight though. I only have one turn of sunlight, which is actually very, very bad for us. So no protect on the Aerodactyls. We might have been able to get rid of it, but aren't able to, unfortunately. Here's the rock slide. No KOs yet. I wonder if Weather Ball can do enough damage to put it into Life Orb recoil. And then... oh, yeah. I don't see a safe way to win this. We'll go for the Eruption and Protect here, maybe. Yeah, the problem is that I'm guaranteed to be faster than Garchomp, which hurts us a lot here. So we can still win if we get pretty lucky here. First we have to hit a double protect, then we have to connect on Heat Wave onto both, and we also have to dodge a Rock Slide from Aerodactyl. But if we do this, we can hopefully win. We fill a double, so that is going to be game over here. Stop the tantrum. So that's going to be our first loss with this team, which honestly is not bad. This is a pretty tricky matchup. It's something I got to take my time to figure out. But overall, yeah, good games, and we're still not out of it. So let's see what happens. So it's another sun-based team. And this one isn't too good against Trick Room, right? The problem is, can we get a Trick Room in time with something like Ninetales Helping Hand Eruption? I don't think we can. So if I predict their lead to be Ninetales, or even just like Zard plus Sicilian Typhlosion, I think Whimsicott plus Pyroar could be really cool here. And then Annihilate, because we're going to be playing it under Trick Room anyway, or under Tailwind anyway. So who do I want in the last slot? They have 1 of 6 physical attackers, right? So Intimidate is going to be like super useful here, but is Fake Out going to be useful? We might be able to taunt the Aerodactyl before it's able to set up. Let's just go for it. Cards are an Aerodactyl, which is actually a horrible lead for us. But we can make good use of Incineroar's support and the damage reduction, and try to go for a more late game style and just use the sun to deal as much damage with Pyroar as possible. Pyroar is actually really fast as a Mega Evolution. It reaches base 126, and like for reference, I think Floette is like 103 or 104. There's a Protect. Be Tailwind here. So we're gonna break the Sash if there is one. The Wave is gonna go into Protect first. There's a Heat Wave. Honestly, great damage. There's no King Gambit in the back, is there? So this means that Aerodactyl might Protect here. I want to go for Parting Shot and Heat Wave again because I think they're going to switch out here. They don't want to give me the boost on the sun. Well, they're not switching out, but they still might Protect. Let's see it. There's the Drought. Aerodactyl is going to Protect here. Weather Ball. I'm gonna do a ton of damage. Charizard misses. Oh, we missed on the Charizard. That's really bad. However, we are in good position to start getting a Night Orb set up. So if we go for a Bulk Up and then switch back out into Instant. Do live like a dual wing beat, but there's no way you can just ignore the Pyroar, right? Here's Rock Stomp. That's what we want to see. Another Weather Ball. This, yeah, great. I'll use the word damage reduction there. Oh, and because of the nerf, we're not gonna get our berry, citrus berry, which would be pretty crucial here, but it's fine. They have one more turn of Tailwind, and we want to make it so that they can't use that as effectively, right? So I'm gonna go for a Rage Fist, and then switch out again. And basically this is saying that if you don't protect the Aerodactyl, then you're gonna go down to the Rage Fist. This could be the Heliolisk here, right? Venusaur, that's even better. Here's the Weather Ball, which we should take. We get another big Parting Shot off into Charizard. So Charizard's actually pretty weak here. We get to go back into Whimsicott. There's still a lot of turns of Sunlight, but we want to make it so Charizard can't use it that well. We're gonna go for a Tailwind or a Rage Fist and a Tailwind. Venusaur is going to be going down here. Unless they outspeed us for some reason. They do outspeed us. But they don't risk the Sleep Powder Miss, which is honestly great for us. Here's the Weather Ball, so they really don't like missing moves. Which is why they're going for all these 100% aggro moves, even though their strategy is kind of based around like, I'm going to just send out as many attacks as possible and try to stop you like that, right? Where's our Rage Fist at? Is there any way we can track? I don't think so, right? It's been unfortunate. But last turn of Sun, I want to go for Rage Fist into Zard, and then no, I think it's always just attack here, and we'll fake out. No, they're gonna want to switch out, so we're going to Flare Blitz whatever comes in. Whisk. Might be Sash. No Sash. It probably was Life Orb. But do we go down to recoil here? That would be really bad. No, we don't. And that means that we can Parting Shot and switch. Parting Shot and Rage Fist. Because our Incineroar is super fast, we're guaranteed to outspeed the Charizard. Another option would be just taunting the Aerodactyl, but I mean, if we could take the KO, why not take it, right? Here's the Rage Fist. It's going to take the knockout. Another Parting Shot here. Here's the Weather Ball. Let's see how much this is even do. It's gonna do a lot of damage still. So we got one more turn of Tailwind. Rage Fist should almost guarantee KO. And we can switch back into Instant and say, either you give us this KO now, or you give it to us next turn. I mean, I'm fairly certain they should KO. Okay, this is the best case scenario. Because if for some reason Rage Fist didn't KO, then we would have a lot more trouble here. But with this play, it's easier for us to stall out Sun. We get them Fake Out chip as well. It's Fake Out. A lot of damage, so I'm guessing this is no bulk, and so we should probably fill with Rage Fist anyway. Yeah. And there's that. Came back strong from our defeat, even though this looked like a pretty scary team. So, let's see what we're up against next. We're up against Rain for the first time, I believe, and it's not really like your standard Rain team. They've already locked in their 4. So, what could this strategy possibly be? I couldn't tell you. What I can tell you is that Whimsicott plus Pyroar seems pretty strong here. And basically, I want as many ways as possible to just keep the Sun up, right? And yeah, I guess we'll try to go for like a Torkoal plus Farigiraf endgame, try to get up Trick Room and see how we can do that. Honestly, this is looking kind of scary for me. Because I don't know like what their plan is. I'm guessing this is gonna be like tickle plus superpower, right? Let's just go for the Moonblast and Heat Wave first. Are they gonna Tailwind and Superpower first? Honestly, couldn't tell you. Yeah, let's just go for Sunny Day Heat Wave. And I think I should be able to live one superpower. That's kind of the goal here. So if it's gonna be Tailwind plus superpower here, first up I think I should live and get one Heat Wave off. If for some reason I don't, fake tears. Okay, so they just want to play super bulky, that's fine. Okay, how much is your superpower gonna do? You get the burn. I'm not sure how much I like that. Here's the superpower. No KO. So it's hard for them to switch into Pelipper here because they know we have good. So how do we go from here? I want to double and try to just get rid of this guy. I don't know how easily I can do that. I mean, Heat Wave did like a good amount, right? So overheat my KO. This is a super effective Moonblast as well. Yeah, I think that's certainly overheat range, as long as we connect. Here's the overheat. It does connect. There we go, and we do get rid of it. Life do and fails. We can encore that as well. Oh, we don't have encore. What am I talking about? Then we can Sunny Day. Now our goal is going to be to get Trick Room up. Let's see if this is Tailwind or Hurricane or Weather Ball into. Weather Ball into that, which they did predict, which is like fine. I see. There's a speed drop. I want to go into Pyroar again. Already took 2 KOs, so we're fine. I'm gonna go for the Solar Beam here and get Trick Room up. And hopefully they go for like an Icy Wind or something of that nature. Maybe we didn't need to go for a Trick Room. Maybe we could just attacked. I mean, like, they don't really have a good way of getting rid of Rigoroth, right? Rigoroth could have just been a win con. Yeah, we could have easily just doubled that and taken the KO. Never mind. But if they do go for... Okay, they go for Tailwind. Which should mean that... Scald. We might go down here. Okay. We don't go down, which is great. Here's Trick Room. Now... We are sitting at 170 speed exactly. Which means that if my Lodic is faster than say like, best move here is let's go for Heat Wave and Thunderbolt. Nice, great play. Unless they protect the no. Thunderbolt. I don't think that's Heat Wave right now, unfortunately, but that's fine. Oh yeah, not after that. I see. Okay, so we'll never get to see the speed interaction between those two. Let's see, is this the last turn of Sun? Okay, 2 turns of Sun left. But it's pretty much wraps here. They might have Lyca, right? So I think the better move is just Weather Ball and Thunderbolt. Let's see, this kills. Barely not. Either way, I don't think they can get rid of us fast enough, right? Oh, that's a lot of damage. Awesome. Yeah, facing a team like that in Ultra World can be really annoying, especially if you have no clue what's coming up. Like that first Heat Wave did nothing and I got scared. Getting our win streak back up and hopefully just a couple more before we get into masterball. And we're going to be facing against a hard Trick Room team with a lot of, with 3, 4 fire resistances. My instinct here is to go for like taunt, right? Because they really don't have much to stop taunt, and then bulk up. And then like, if they do get up Trick Room, then we'll have Torkoal. But if not, then Torkoal plus Pyroar, like Helping Hand, Fire Main, Sunny Day, boosted Heat Wave should still be doing like 50% to, or like, you know, a lot of damage. Probably 2-hit KOing everything on this team, except for maybe Camerupt. I don't know Camerupt calcs like that. Friggin' Photon. So this could be pretty bad if it's like, let's see, Willow. So here's what we'll do. We'll taunt and protect. This could be Scarf as well. Scarf, Hydro. We'll live a Hydro for sure. Like, do I want to risk being burnt though? That's my question. Let's not get burnt. So it's not Scarf. And we are faster than the Rotom, which means that, okay, this will switch. So here we'll go for Parting and Bulk Up. We might take a lot here. We'll see what happens. There's another Camerupt. I like the M that it has on its forehead. We are faster. There's the Parting Shot. But we're gonna be switching into a Pokemon that's gonna take super effective damage from ground type moves. So, I think health on Torkoal is the least important, right? And it'll also, if we go down, then we're threatening Solar Beam as well. So let's see, what move is this? It could be Eruption, which would be really bad. It's gonna be Earth Power and Dig, which is decent damage. I think we'll just play it slow, or we can go for type is this? Fire and ground, right? So it's not weak to Drain Punch, but I think Helping Hand Drain Punch should still do like a fair bit into Rotom at +1. And like surely it's not Will-O-Wisp at this point. It would have just Willowed me first turn. I think it's gonna be Voltage Torkoal, Thunderbolt, Torkoal. We actually want to see Torkoal go down here. So now we got a super health the Annihilate next to a full health Mega Pyroar that outspeeds everything. So we won't be able to get Sun up again, most likely. But we can just start stacking damage wherever we can, right? Yeah, this isn't gonna do that much to this camera tier. Camera is gonna protect. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. And that's doing a lot of damage. It literally might be Magnet or something, which is pretty ridiculous. This is bad because we have to click Overheat here, or else we can't KO this further out. So we'll Overheat and Drain Punch. I believe we're +1. Yeah. So, I mean, 2 stacks Rage Fist. It's not going to KO, but it should do a lot of damage. Yeah. Great move. Alright, that's fine. Let's see how much this red power is going to do. They are -1. But we are not crazy bulky, so let's see what their last is. I'm guessing it's Incineroar at this point, right? So yeah, they are in quite a predicament here because we outspeed them and we KO them with everything. Even if Instant goes down here, the thing is that most likely we should be able to solo with Annihilate pretty much. Another thing is like we have Parting Shot here, which means that they can't just easily get rid of Annihilate. Even like Crit Earth Power. Let's see what this is here. It is insane. So even if this is something like Fake Out Earth Power into Incineroar, maybe I should just attack the Camerupt, right? Let's see how much crit. Like this could be like Overheat or something, right? Crit Overheat could be pretty bad. It's just Earth Power. honestly, at -1, that's great damage, right? Okay, but Annihilate is just too bulky. That is gonna be the forfeit. And yeah, great showcase by Annihilate. Very, very strong Pokemon. And that's it. I didn't expect to make it to Master Ball with this one, but we did it. So that was, honestly, this might be some of the most fun I've had playing Pokemon. Pyroar does so much damage. Annihilate is so hard to get rid of. This is definitely a deal that I'll keep in mind for something else. And yeah.